Customer experience is all about customer satisfaction at the end of the day. And those customer experience goals help you focus and prioritize on the areas that really matter most to your customers. For example, if they're frustrated with the long wait times, you can set a specific goal to reduce those wait times, ultimately leading to happier customers and increased loyalty. Other areas there are obviously what everybody's after, revenue, right? Those customer experience goals align directly to revenue, and that positive word of mouth and marketing can be actually linked directly to net promoter score and those financial linkage analysis. And this is really important, especially in hospitality. That reputation is critical. And then also the competitive cost, right? Reducing costs. Efficient operators go hand in hand with good CX, and we're able to resolve issues a lot faster and efficiently. And if you can actually know what is driving the biggest impact to your customers' negative experiences, you can fix that. Also celebrate what's working really well. And lastly, we know in hospitality, service is everything. It's a competitive advantage. And if you can set goals with your team, it can be a key differentiator across the board. A lot of times these two entities or teams aren't always talking together, but it matters that they are. And really great organizations and hospitality providers, when they do it together and they're talking about them hand in hand, it's the key focus and driver. So what are the company's goals for the next year? And how do you want to measure that? Is it customer retention? And making sure we support and set up these customer experience goals to support the larger initiatives. And then this is also something that's really critical outside of maybe your annual employment engagement survey, is get input from your employees. They're on the front lines. They're talking to customers, and they know what frustrates customers and what makes them happy. So getting their input when you're setting those goals will really help drive the bottom line and the larger business goals of the business. It's really built on 3 pillars. The first one is capturing feedback, right? We know that the customer journey is very complex and there's many channels. And so meeting them where they are is really critical, whether that is on the digital app, whether that's text, email, social reviews, contact center interactions, external resources. It could be anywhere. And pulling that all into a single source of truth is really critical. Think about your meeting planners who are planning these big, very expensive, high revenue meetings. That feedback is just as important as your leisure guest. And then the second pillar is analyzing the feedback. And Medallia's AI-powered text analytics help you quickly identify the feedback and make sure that there's key themes and sentiment in that customer feedback to know exactly what people are doing. And we can do that in real time. And lastly, the most important pillar here is taking action. And our platform is really centered around taking action with customers, closing the loop, making operational changes, being proactive and predictive is there as well. And lastly, it is working hand in partnership with them, looking at goals and setting up specific operation analysis on things that you're measuring to make sure that you're seeing the outcomes and everybody across the organization is on the same page, making sure we democratize the data across the entire enterprise, whether that's an individual hotel or across the entire brand. ComOps is one of our hospitality partners that works hand in hand alongside our partners to help them measure those goals, to optimize the customer experience program, and to continue to bring innovation and thought leadership and best practices to understand where the customer is going. There might be a new channel that might be introduced. The digital app is something that's really underutilized from a measurement standpoint. Everybody has an app, but that customer experience isn't always pulled into a post-stay visit along with social reviews. So that's an initiative that Medallia and ComOps are focused on, is bringing that measurement to the digital app and making sure that it's frictionless as possible. So that could be an area that we're adding another signal and bring that thought leadership to the forefront and say, this should be a priority for you because it represents 50% of where your customer's time is being spent outside of human-to-human interactions. A big one these days is reducing call wait times, right? That's obviously when people are calling the hotel or in reservations. This is really critical. Obviously, lots of organizations are implementing chatbots, but that's not always the most easy, seamless experience. The human interaction on the telephone or even in a chat is really important. So measuring that average call time and wait time with customer satisfaction is critical. And also maybe being able to schedule a callback if they're having high call volumes. We see this a lot in the airlines, making sure that if you're not able to talk to them right now, you can actually schedule a callback at 3 p.m. And that way you're expecting it and it's in the queue and you get that call and you're waiting for it and you're not having to wait on hold. It's really working for the customer. I already mentioned the mobile app. This is really a focal point for many hospitality providers. There's a lot you can do in apps, but not many organizations are truly measuring that customer satisfaction about the app experience or serving up the ability to give feedback throughout different behavioral elements or transactions. And so being able to just measure the app's net promoter score and user behavior are really critical. Lastly, the online booking experience is obviously critical. Want to make that as frictionless as possible, and being able to reduce friction points and get to the booking as quickly as possible is really a focal point as well. So nothing revolutionary there, but those are some things we see as big focal points. And then obviously how to leverage AI is a big conversation that we can obviously have in future conversations here.